Hey guys, today's November 26th. I just woke up from a dream that I'm going to tell you. I dreamt that I was in this church and I had a friend that works at the auction I go to, Elizabeth, and I had to take a shower. Okay? And we know that shower represents purity, cleansing ourselves. Okay? And she had to take a shower. Well, I know it sounds strange, I had my body wash and she had hers, a 3-in-1. Well, she ended up taking her shower and I jumped in, whatever. And she ends up handing me her 3-in-1 and she wouldn't give me my body wash. She goes, "No, you need to use this stuff." So I was like, okay. And I felt like it was junk. Okay. It was a blue bottle and it said 3-in-1. Okay, so I get out of the shower and I'm sitting there talking to her, and her and I come up with this idea that we are going to dig underground to make our bunker. I knew in my spirit it was like the year 2019 ish, and I said, yes, let's do that. Well, inside this church, nobody was paying attention. They were sitting there listening to the message, whatever. It was as if they were zombified by what this pastor was saying. And I went through this wooden door and we started digging. Well, we dug and dug and dug, and finally we got to where we made a bunch of different tunnels underneath the ground. I'm talking about probably 100 different escape routes. Okay, and I did not see one kid in my dream, not one. So I know that the rapture already happened. Okay, and before I further on, just because someone has a dream that you yourself are in it does not mean you're getting left behind. It does not mean that you're not saved. And that, see, I told you all the kids go and then we all sit behind. That does not mean at all what that means. Okay, God gives us clues of what's going to happen in the future, like he did with Daniel. Okay, so anyways, I go through this tunnel, I'm getting everything set up. Elizabeth is gone in my dream by then. Well, I happened to look outside and I saw what looked like snow on the ground, but it wasn't a lot, it was a little bit. And there was a bunch of white vans that had blue writing all over them, and these men that were like dressed in, I don't know if they were dark gray or black. And they're outside playing football or some game where they were tossing stuff. And I wanted to go outside. But as soon as I did, there was like I don't know if it was an intercom or if it was an inner voice of mine that said that they can detect where you are at because you did not choose the mark of the beast. They can feel your warmth of your body. They have this machine that they're able to tell. So, you know, the car things that you sit there and you can aim at the engine and it'll tell you, like a diagnostics thing. That's what they were using to determine who had this mark and who didn't. Well, I seen, as I slid underneath this vehicle because I didn't want to be seen. But like I said, they were telling me they know where you're at. So I decided to run and hide, right? To go back into my bunker, and they started following me. I'm talking about fast. But every time that they tried finding me, I'd go through a different door, I'd lock it, and they would bang on it, trying to get me. And I kept going further and further down into the ground. And one bunker that I went into was actually one of theirs. And I was like, oh, crikey, right? So I was afraid at first, but then I was like, no, there's a different door that I can take. So I took this different door, and I happened to see that my mother-in-law was in there. And I was like, what are you doing here? And then I saw my sister Brittany, and I seen all kinds of people in there, my husband, and I told them, you guys have to be quiet. And then I happened to look, and this underground, this room, particular room they were in, had a window, and it had like frost on it. And I wipe it and I'm looking at it, and I said, they know where we're at. This is not a safe room. And I said, and if you guys don't be quiet, you're going to give it away where we're at. And so they end up no, we're fine, we're fine. And I'm like, no, we're not. Well, I happen to watch out this window and I'm looking and I see that they were taking these people. I can't even tell you how many. This dream felt like it went on for hours, and it had to have, because I woke up around 10 and I fell back to sleep around 7:30, and I remember dreaming all of this instantly. And um they took people and they were looking. They did this one. They're like, "You don't have um the mark." And it they said, "By the warmth of your body we can tell." And they were all trying to lie, so they took their head and they took a scythe and they chopped their head off. And um anyways, so then I got a bang on our door and I told them it was their fault. And they wanted to follow me, and I said, "No, you guys are going to stay here. You guys are fending for yourself." So I left. Me and my husband left, and I happened to notice that this door that we went through went completely underneath this road, all the way on the other side to where they couldn't find me. And I had enough stuff stocked up for 5 years. And everybody, of course, was trying to get my things. And it wasn't okay. So I told them eventually we are going to be found, so we're going to have to give ourselves up. So I decided to go out there, and they determined that I did not have the mark, but they didn't chop my head off. They knew I didn't have the mark, but they asked me to join them, and of course I said no. I'm not going to deny my faith, and I woke up. If you read in Matthew 25 how it says about the 5 wise, 5 foolish, um, 5 of them had enough oil and the others were like, "No, let me have some of yours." And they're like, "No, we're not going to give you ours unless we have none for ourselves." And then they went in and the others were left because they missed the bridegroom. This is exactly what's going to happen. There are going to be people during the tribulation that's going to try and take everything that you have and do not care if you are found or, about your protection. They're going to care about themselves. And there's this video that was sent to me as a confirmation of my dream that it was the man who actually invented this chip. And yes, I know it's a 3-year-old video or whatever, but I'm telling you that this is already out. It is not forced as of yet. Midst of the tribulation, it will be forced. So I know that the tribulation is sooner than we think. Excuse me, is a lot sooner than we think. And we think that we know the timing and we don't. God is trying to tell us that He is so close that there is literally not enough time to prepare. You just have to be prepared and ready. So get your houses in order and purify yourselves, because if you are not washed in the blood or washed clean, you are going to be left and you're going to be found not worthy, and you're going to have to die for your faith. And I know that's what the first part of my dream represented. So, and this isn't here to scare anybody, but this is a warning dream that the tribulation is about to begin and the mark of the beast is about to be implemented. The Antichrist is about to rise and Jesus is coming. So just be ready in heart, mind, and spirit, okay? I don't know what else to say. So God bless you all and have a blessed day.